Many people today have different tastes and styles in decor, but the one common trend I've noticed in houses, apartments, and rooms of friends and family are these faux calligraphy painted canvases. But instead of spending all of that money on ones already pre-made for you at home decor stores, it would be so much easier to learn how to do it yourself and save money in the process. Before I teach you how to create these beautiful works of art, I want you to know a little bit about where calligraphy came from and what calligraphy actually is. Calligraphy is the oldest form of cursive writing. It's a series of upstrokes that are thin and downstrokes that are thick. It was actually considered so hard to master that it was more valuable than art and paint itself. Calligraphy dates back all the way to 5th BC China, where they used it as a form of language, communication, and art. But because it's so hard to master, over the years, people have come up with techniques called faux calligraphy to fake the effect of calligraphy. Hi, my name is Taylor, and before we begin this project, I'm going to demonstrate what real calligraphy looks like and the difference between calligraphy and faux calligraphy, and exactly how to get the effect of calligraphy that you want. To begin, you're going to need a sheet of paper and a pen. Watch as I perform what real calligraphy looks like with a calligraphy pen. See, as I go up, the strokes are thin and down are thick. Calligraphy is done in one fluid motion and calls for a special kind of pen. On the other hand, faux calligraphy can be done using any kind of pen. In faux calligraphy, start by writing your entire word in cursive. Leave enough room in between to go back and add parallel lines to the downstrokes. Once you complete the downstrokes, go back and shade in the area between the original downstroke and the duplicate line. This gives the effect of a thick downstroke, like in real calligraphy. So to begin, I have a handout for you to look and follow along with. The first part of learning how to create faux calligraphy on a canvas is taking a sheet of practice paper and practicing it. So you'll need one blank sheet of paper and a pen of your choice. To start, you want to pick the quote, word, or phrase that you'll be writing on the canvas and practice writing it on this paper in cursive. I will be using Be Not Afraid so that I can demonstrate the same one that I showed in the beginning of the video. Remember, not everyone's cursive and handwriting are the same, so yours might come out a little differently, but that's okay. Keep following the directions. When you're finished writing in cursive, go back and add the parallel line duplicate next to each downstroke. Once you've added each parallel line duplicate, go back and shade in the area between the original downstroke and the duplicate line. See how my downstrokes are thicker than my upstrokes? That's what creates the calligraphy look. To start the second part on the actual canvas, once you're comfortable with actually writing your word or phrase down on the paper, you will need one white canvas, 14 by 11. You can find these at Hobby Lobby. You can actually buy them in packs and save you a lot of money, and also if you mess up, you have more. You'll also need a black Sharpie, two-sided Sharpie, one with the ultra thin side and one with the thick side. You'll need a regular pencil, your choice of colored paint. I will be using the green and the blue. You'll also need a cup of water, a napkin, two paintbrushes, medium size, and a paper plate. The first part you're going to do with this project is take the paper plate and lay it flat onto the canvas. Next, you'll take your pencil and you'll trace a circle onto the canvas, very lightly, because the circle won't be there at the end. Now you have a circle in the middle of your canvas. Once you have the circle, you're going to take your quote, word, or phrase, and you're going to write it in the center of the circle. Writing in pencil allows you to go back and erase if you made a mistake, instead of having to start over on a whole new canvas. Once you have the quote finished, you want to go back with a black Sharpie, using the ultra tip fine side, and trace your entire quote or word in black. Now that you have the entire word traced in black, go back and fill in the gap between the original downstroke and the parallel downstroke that you made. Now that you have your quote painted on your canvas, you can take your paintbrush and your paint. If you have a flower stencil at this time, I recommend that you place it at the top right corner, right on the outside of the circle. But for this demonstration, we're just going to paint the flowers ourselves. At this point, you can use any color paint you want. I chose green for the leaves and blue for the flowers. I used the second paintbrush to dip my paint into the second paint instead of mixing them. Notice how I dip my paintbrush in the paint and then in the water. If you have thick paint, it could be hard to spread on a canvas. Therefore, dipping it in water can make it thinner and easier to spread. I prefer to do it by hand. I just feel like I have more control over it, and if you feel that artistic, go ahead. But for people who don't feel very artistic, I tell them all the time, like, you don't need to be an artist to create art. Yeah. Like, doing this is actually a fun way to get people together. I was thinking about actually inviting my Bible study to do it. Yeah. Once you finish planting the flower at the top corner, you want to demonstrate the same one at the bottom left corner, right outside the circle. You either want to take the stencil and lift it up from this corner and come to the bottom left and place it down flat, and reiterate the same thing with the paint with the same colors. And if you're doing it by freehand, I would recommend using the same colors as the flowers you used on the top to put at the bottom. Once you finish painting your design on your canvas, you want it to allow it to dry for 30 minutes to an hour. After you've allowed the paint to dry completely, go back with the pencil and erase the circle that you drew lightly in the beginning. Faux calligraphy doesn't always have to be used on a canvas. You can use it for multiple things, like labeling containers in your house, invitations, and even picture frames. In summary, learning how to create these faux calligraphy canvases not only saves you money, but can be a fun project to do with your friends and family. Last year, me and my friends got together and made these canvases. You don't even have to use them on canvases. You can create picture frames. It's a great tool to use to create gifts for friends and families, especially around the holidays when you're already trying to save money. I wasn't much of an artist when I first started to learn how to create these canvases. I actually learned from a friend, Mallory Robichaud. Because everyone's handwritings are different, the calligraphy might look a little different to each person. But that's okay, as long as you follow with the thickening of downstrokes and the thin upstrokes, you should come out with the look you're looking for. Thank you for joining me and learning how to create these faux calligraphy canvases. I hope this helps you to realize that you don't have to be an artist to learn how to create art. All it takes is a little time, patience, and practice.